Like so many others, who you are is largely a result of your past. We have so many positive and not so positive experiences that we start to doubt ourselves and our place in this world. Let the healing process start now. Welcome to Shift Happens with Karin Weiri. When you start to focus on healing from the inside out, you'll learn so much more about your own health, your well-being, and your state of mind. Once you've started on that, the rest gets a little bit easier every day. Now, here is your host, Karin Weiri.
Hello and welcome to Shift Happens. I love Tuesdays because we make shift happen right here on the show and in your life, especially when you take the things that we talk about here and implement them into your life, because that's the whole point, right? I am your host, Karin Weiri, and when I'm not on here, I am a licensed marriage and family therapist as well as breakthrough life coach. And this is the piece that is missing for in so many situations where people just feel stuck, whether they feel stuck in their relationships or in their careers or in their personal life. They have their brain going 90 miles an hour, 24/7. And it's usually because there's something going on that just needs to be released. And that is what I do when I work with people. Let's release all those blocks so that you can go off and be you and do all the wonderful things that you're supposed to do in life. And speaking of going out and doing wonderful things in life, I have a really special guest today. I am super excited to have someone who I am getting to know because she is a fellow podcaster, Miss Michele Swinick. And she is the queen of quality content, founder and host of Everything Home Talk radio show, podcast, patriotic, purpose driven resource platform. She is out of Arizona. So let me tell you a little bit about Michele and the Everything Home Show. That is your trustworthy resource for sharing personal stories and quality content conveyed with a hint of humor and a supersized side of sincerity. Why? Well, to enhance the quality of your life, which is why Michele fits right in here to give you more professional, personal, and financial freedom and promote patriotism. The Purpose Driven Partners segment is live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 12 to 1 p.m. That's Pacific Time, PT, with experts, entrepreneurs, professional, and purpose driven people who share their stories, passions, and provide real life, tangible takeaways to grow your business, enhance the quality of your life, and make a difference. Everything Home is a fast moving motivational show filled with valuable information and mixed with a little entertainment. 5 guests with 7-minute segments in each episode. Michele is also on a mission to help small businesses, entrepreneurs, and service providers stand out and stand up for what they believe in, becoming by a purpose driven business and supporting nonprofit organizations. Her innovative promos for a purpose, everything done for you, purpose driven business partnership and marketing experience makes this easy and effortless. So, I have had the pleasure of being a regular guest on your
Hi.
show, Michele.
Mhm.
Yeah, so welcome. Thank you for being on here.
Well, thank you for having me. That was a mouthful you gave me.
Oh, I'm telling you.
Tons of information. People are like, what the heck is going on that show and platform?
A lot of stuff, a lot of
Wow.
stuff. Yeah. So Michele, tell me a little bit about how you got into radio and how long have you been in radio?
Well, my first experience was way back in 2002
Mm.
when you would actually go to a radio station and you could listen to the radio in the car. You know what I mean? And I did that for 3.5 years, 141 live shows every Saturday morning on NBC 1190 here in Phoenix. And then the station was sold, but the timing was good. It was end of 2005. You already see where the writing is on the wall, what's going to be happening. I mean, we didn't know as consumers what was coming, but so the timing was perfect. And then I jumped back in it. Well, let's put it in perspective. Back then it was $4,000 a month to have a radio show. Okay. That's
Wow.
insane, right? That's just
Yeah.
nuts. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, the barrier to entry to get back on the air is lots of zeros, right? So then when I heard about this podcast thing, I'm like, what is this podcast thing? I don't understand. I really don't get it. So then when I found out to do it through Blog Talk Radio was $39 a month, I was like, oh, I found the way. Yes. See, so now I went from 4,000 to
zeros.
$39, just not zeros. And obviously then I figured out that you could do live talk radio from that format. There's other platforms. You're on Voice America, which is much more advanced. Let's leave it at that. much more advanced and a bigger outreach. So yeah, the options for people, the barrier to entry to get into having another platform where your voice is heard, or now it's video, you know what I mean? So there's just so much. So yeah, I started this show in 2018.
Okay.
2018.
Yeah. Yeah. And so what, so you're all about purpose-driven business and giving back and providing this platform so that people have this good information. And so, yeah, tell me a little bit about, how that came about.
Well, it's evolved into what I call a patriotic, purpose-driven resource platform. So really, it is jam-packed with everything that you can imagine to grow your business, enhance the quality of your life, and make a difference, especially in your community. And as I get fired up about stuff, or I meet different organizations, or I come across different people, it expands, right? So it originally started as one-on-one podcast recorded episodes. And then I added in the patriotic, purpose-driven resource platform because I said, if you've got like-minded people, and give them one location where they could find things, because I couldn't find things. I'm a queen of writing everything down and Post-its and keeping even folders on my computer, and even tabs, and marking it in different websites. And by the time you go to try to find something, I'm like, I don't even know where to begin. So I spent more time looking than I could find. So as I just started expanding the website, so then that way it made it easy for people to find the messages that matter from the people that you need to know about. And then it's just evolved from there. And it's really jammed packed with so much information. Like, for example, you're an all-star partner of ours, right? You're a reoccurring guest. You come on once a month. We are in March Madness Maskless Month, 31 days of makeovers, motivation, and marketing. It's crazy, right? So, and the reason why we did the 31 days is because it's 21 days to build a habit. We all have learned that. So we gave you 31 because we all fall off the wagon. Totally cool. I've done it like 5 times this month myself. I'm totally guilty, run over by the wheel. And we're doing the all-star segments are Tuesdays and Thursdays at 12 p.m. Pacific time live. And we have 3 guests that are coming on. You came on and kicked off Personal Improvement and Empowerment Week, which was awesome. So, the goal of all of this is so that people have all the information that they need. They have access to the professionals, the experts, the people that have that passion. They know where to find them. And we support all of our partners that come on the show because they become part of the community, part of the family. So like for you come on the show, but you're coming on reoccurring, and we're promoting your show. So if somebody wants to watch this show and they're like, God, I wonder where I can find Karin. Well, if you just click on any of the episodes she's been on, you go directly to our website. So you can't say, well, I didn't know how to find Karin. I didn't know how to find her. She's just right there. And then if you go to the must listen to page, it lists all of the podcasts, talk radio shows, live streams, and TV shows that I either our partners are on or ones that you should kind of pay attention to. So then they just have to click on your pretty picture and all of a sudden they show up here. So it's just makes it, the goal is no more excuses. No more excuses. It's 2021, guys. We're heading into April, and you can't say, I didn't know. I didn't know who to talk to. I didn't know who to trust. I mean, there's a lot of noise out there. So the people that we have on the show, they're people that you can actually have confidence in, that they know what they're doing, that they have great advice. They're sincere. They're doing their businesses for more than just making money. Because at this point, everybody's making money, and you need to do that. I mean, don't get me wrong. You always have to plug yourself because no one's paying your bills but you. But there's another reason why you're doing the things that you're doing. And it comes out in these conversations. And, you can hear it in their voices where it's there, because nobody's pushing stuff. It's not salesy. You know what I mean? That just gets like used car-ish. And, there's just a whole different personal approach for all the partners that we have on the show, like yourself. Anyone that listens as part of our community, and let's say they reach out and they want to have another conversation, they get a little VIP treatment, which is kind of nice, as opposed to just finding a random person out in the ether and hoping that, you bought their on-demand course, and then all of a sudden, you're just a number in a system and you never even have a conversation with somebody. So it's more about trust and personalization, building a community. And it seems to be working pretty well. Yeah, the numbers are good. The numbers are good. Yeah. And the best part of it is when I get feedback from either the guests or from the audience where something on there either made them laugh, it changed their day, they learned something, it gave them incentive to get off the couch, or they found something that helped their business. Maybe they got involved with their community, because that's our whole new big approach, is the take action tab. There's everything you can imagine is on there in order for you to really change your life or even get active in your community based on, where we are in the world today. And, it's just, it's fulfilling that I literally do this all the time. Like this, I don't leave the house. I'm constantly doing this, adding it, meeting new guests, talking to different organizations, companies, people, just so that I can always make sure that whoever comes on the show, they already have the stamp of approval. So you don't have to worry. Like, is this guy legit? Is this lady telling the truth? Does she just want my money? No, you don't have to worry about that. So it's kind of a long-winded answer to your question, but it's something different. So I kind of wanted to, I don't know, make it a little more clear for people.
Yeah, and I think the thing that makes it different is that sense of community, and it's almost like I've been a part of BNI before, Business Network International, where it's a lot of different professionals that come together, and it's all about giving referrals, but in a different way, more of an informational way, because you have the information coming on the radio show, and then there's finding them on the website, right? Because there's the website is where everybody comes together to find the information, right?
Yeah, I call it the ultimate resource platform for everything that you need to grow your business, enhance the quality of your life, and make a difference. So but I'm constantly encouraging people to access the website. I'm putting out certain specific episodes where this person was either talking, or this is the content that we provided, or especially the all-star segments. And you guys, I have to give for any of the all-star partners that are listening, like yourself, that did an amazing job. These special shows that we did in the month of March on Tuesdays and Thursdays, literally, when I say life-changing, I'm not exaggerating. Because it's like everybody really stepped up to the plate, even though you've been, I think, you were one of my first guests when I started this live segment back in the end of October. Okay. And even though you've come on and talked about different topics, it was like really everybody brought their A game. And if anybody listens to any of these episodes, and before the end of this, I could just rattle off the numbers real quick. If you listen to these and you execute any of the tips, any of the takeaways, any of the references, or use any of the websites that they gave you that are resources for your business, and something doesn't change, then there's something that you need to do on your own end, that especially the business portion. If you implement any of these and your business doesn't change, then there's something wrong with your business. I mean, that's how powerful these episodes were. So I want to thank you for really, really delivering for the all-star segments, which is, like I said, the stuff was mind-blowing. I literally have anywhere between 3 and 5 pages of notes on each episode, and I'm doing the interviews. So I'm paying attention, but I'm not paying attention as much as somebody who's listening. You know what I mean? So it's a lot. It's incredible stuff. It is.
Yeah. So, for example, for business, just as an example, what would be one of the pieces that came out that stands out in your mind that if you implement that, boom, your business should change?
Know your audience, which a lot of people don't. Really define your audience, and then know how to communicate with your audience, because each age bracket is different. And we were talking about that last Thursday which was on episode 188. 188 was mind blowing. Okay. So we talked about the wow strategy, which really showed you how to take an idea and how to sell a service or product and take you through the steps to make it something where it becomes an incredible offer. And then we talked about the psychographics and really, like I said, understanding your audience and how to deliver the message to them and what they really want better, more so than, a lot of people use the word, find your avatar and go in that direction. This was even more specific because it got down into more digital marketing and how to even communicate with the audience. Like we were talking about the different age brackets. So you got somebody who's older and they want to either engage with you or have a conversation. They don't text. So you need to know, like, don't text somebody who is in the older age bracket, because that's not how they want you to actually maybe come to their house. You know what I mean? We went really into specifics on how each of the different audiences want to communicate. And especially the younger people, they don't talk on the phone. So you need to know that when you don't even bother, like you need to text with them. And where do they live? Where are they doing their audiences and their business, which was the fascinating thing was the Gen Z, which is 6 to 22, 25, somewhere in there. So that was, so it's really, really, really fascinating. And then we kind of did a lightning round where we just threw out a bunch of websites of free services for all kinds of different things, especially this AI direction that things are going. It's scary what can be done with this AI technology on these free websites to have the resources. But it's something that you can implement into your business to make it easier, obviously, for yourself. But
that's a slippery slope right there.
Yeah, but it's heading in that direction. So you must just jump on the train because
it's here. I mean, we can just let's not even say it's heading that way. It's here.
It's scary stuff, but
it really is.
Maybe cut down your time. You might as well.
Yeah.
Might well save a few hours while you're at it,
Right. Hey, that's what I always say. Time is the most precious commodity, and you do not get that back. And speaking of time, we are at the time where we are going to take a little break, listen to a couple of messages, and then we're going to zip right on back and hear more about Michele Swinick and her show, which is this patriotic platform that is a vetted platform of all kinds of information that will cause life changes, just like you do here on Shift Happens.
All right, we're clear.
All right.
Happens with Karin Weiri. Do you have a question or comment about today's program? If so, we'd love to hear from you. Call in to the live show at 1-866-472-5792. That's 1-866-472-5792. Or send an email to karinw@insightscounselingcenter.com. Remember that Karin is spelled Karin. Now, back to Shift Happens.
Hello, my friends. We are back with Shift Happens, making shift happen in your life every Tuesday. And whenever you happen to be listening to the show, because, you can listen on demand, whatever it works for you, which is the beautiful thing about this. I am your host, Karin Weiri. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist and breakthrough life coach, which means that I can work with you no matter where in the world you are. And that is such a beautiful thing. We don't have to be restricted by, place anymore, because we have these amazing ways that we can talk with each other and communicate with each other. And speaking of communicating, I have an amazing guest today. She is super passionate about what she does. And I love people who are passionate about what they do. I am passionate about what I do. And that's what we need more of. We need people who really are out here in the world, who have found their purpose and their passion and just going out and making it happen. That's what life really is all about. Michele Swinick is my guest today, fellow podcaster of the Everyday Everything Home show, right?
Everything Home, correct.
Everything Home.
Everything Home.
Almost every day.
5 days a week right now. Yes. I lost my mind officially.
Yeah. You are making your rounds and just to let everybody know about what you are doing. And so, yeah. And so we talked about, how you got started on the show and how it developed and how it's become this patriotic platform because you wanted a platform that was for like-minded people. And yeah, so tell me a little bit about, what, because I don't know about you, but for you, has that changed with how things are now in the current environment, or do you find that being a patriot has always been the same thing?
Well, for me, it's always been the same because it's
Yeah.
about love of country, love of God, about what the
Mm,
Constitution stands for, and about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I mean, that's the basics, right? See,
yeah.
the problem is, uh, and what I try to explain on my show and make clear to people, the people in charge are the problem. Okay, both sides, totally the
Hmm.
problem. Okay,
Yep.
and then once money got involved to the extent where it is now, and power got way overreached, all of the division is created by them because they want us divided. When you peel back and you look at the American people, whether you're on the left or the right or the middle or undecided or just don't care, most everyone's on the same page. They just want a good life. They want they live in a safe community. They want something. They want good schools for their kids. They want a decent job. They want to know that the government is not in their face and taking their money and overcharging them for taxes. And it's just to me that's just called common sense, right? And I think 99% of the people have the same thing. But when there's so much like I said, money and power and political positioning, which is now expanded, and it's been going on for years. We just didn't pay attention, right? We didn't pay attention. We didn't know that the big tech companies were in cahoots with the big media, that were in cahoots with the big pharma. So some people did, and they used to call them conspiracy theorists, or they just called them crazy. But now, I mean, the beauty of 2020 is, as we were being forced to put our masks on, they all took their masks off. They got to the point where, and they meaning the demon rats, the Republicans, the elected elites, the political pundits, the 11 bigs, I call them, as the false authorities, which those are the entities that have been telling us lies for decades. And they literally just put it all out there, thinking these people are so stupid. We've been pulling this off for years. Now it doesn't matter. And they get arrogant. You're dealing with narcissists. You're dealing with sociopaths, and they just don't care. And we let it happen. We let it happen. We let them rule our lives and tell us whatever and throw us a bunch of propaganda. And, we were busy on Facebook, or we were busy working or dealing with the kids in school. And we kept our eye off the ball, where they literally violated laws. They made up their own rules. They took our money. They spent it. They gave it away. Just look at, and that's what I'm saying. It's not a political show. It's a common sense show. And I tell people, for an hour, please just put on your common sense cap. Okay. That's all I ask. I would like if you left it on all day. I would love if you slept in it. But for right now, just give me an hour. Okay. Just give me an hour and let me throw a bunch of information at you. And 99% of it's going to be fact. You might have a tiny bit of opinion in there, but all fact. Okay. And that's what I want people to understand. They said, oh, well, I'm not a political person. I said, well, yeah, unfortunately, they forced you to become one, because politics now has infested every aspect of your life. So you don't have a choice. You have to somehow get involved, whether or not. I'm not asking everybody to become a precinct committee man, which is what I did, because I said, if I'm going to tell everybody to get involved, I better kind of take it up a notch. So I did that, right? So I'm like, okay, now I have a position, and I want to find out what people need and learn what's going on and deliver that information, and then take what they need and what their problems are and what their grievances are and bring that back so there can be some change, right? So I'm not saying everybody can do that, but that's an option. It's highly encouraged, right? Because if you're not going to change anything from the top down, you have to change it from the bottom up. That's just how it is, because there's too many people at the top that have too much of a vested interest, politically, financially, powerfully wise, that they literally could care less about anything to better the American people. And like I said, it's not left and right anymore. That ship has sailed. It's all of us versus all of them. And on the show, I play this outtake. I'm going to be playing a little bit more often. Marjorie Taylor Greene. We've nicknamed her the notorious MTG. The media has portrayed her as some crazy person. Okay. She's the complete opposite. So she gives you the rundown of their MO on how the media will take somebody, create their own image of what they want you to believe who they are, and then keep repeating that. You know, like if you repeat a lie enough, it's still a lie, but at some point people are going to start to believe it. But at the end of the day, it's still a lie. So when you listen to her talk, and it's a 3-minute segment that I took off of the War Room show, it is fascinating because she explains how the DC, you know, people refer to as a swamp. It's actually worse than a swamp. It's a business. It's a living, breathing, economic, entire entity business. And that's why they don't want you to change anything, because that's their livelihood. That's their power. Once they get there, they don't want to leave because this is the mothership. This is where they make the money, the decisions. They're exempt from anything that you and I have to go through. It doesn't affect them. And then they have all this money. And then when they eventually do leave to maybe a different position or a lobbyist group or whatever, you're talking, they have tens of millions of dollars of a net worth. And it all comes because of it's a big money laundering Ponzi scheme with your and my tax dollars, their own benefits, the decisions, the inside deals, the contracts for the friends, for their own stuff, the kickbacks, the whatever. And she explains that literally in 3 minutes. And you go, I get it now. I get it. And that's what I want the American people to be more awake to how the game is played so that they can choose better decisions for themselves, whether they want to get involved, right? Or even if it's signing a petition, whatever, even online, click a button, don't care, whatever it is, give you all kinds of options. You could be totally low effort or something really extreme where you're now deciding to run for office. But I want to give you all those options so you have it, because it's going to make a huge difference in your life. Just like with the schools closed. Okay. Schools are closed because of the boards of educations, the teachers unions, and the local officials say just, you know, in your city, in your county, in your town. And what if you and the people that you agree with, which most of the parents want these schools open to go back to normal because there's no reason that they're not. If you had the right people in those positions, we wouldn't be where we are. So what I'm saying is you think, oh, well, I don't want to deal with the school board. I don't even want to go to the meetings. You need to now, because they've just shown you how much control they have over your life, your kid's education, who's been home for a year, almost a year and a half. And now they're talking, oh, well, maybe in the fall. What are you, nuts? I mean, what about all the moms? I mean, there's millions of moms who had to quit their jobs because they had to take care of the kids and be at home to homeschool them, in addition to and homeschool them, meaning like a hybrid homeschool, because how many kids can sit in front of a laptop and actually make that work? Zero, except maybe like the real couple smart ones that's just how they are anyway. And like, really advanced AP kids who are like, I like this. I don't want to be around these dumb kids in school. I'm actually wanting to learn. And that's not a lot. So, I mean, like I'm saying is, or just like take, for example, the brilliant decision to fund a $1.9 trillion coronavirus relief package. And keep in mind what the name of the bill is. It's just the opposite of what's inside, just the opposite. So only 9% went to you and me and the rest of the 330 million American people. Okay. So you have 91% of $1.9 trillion that's going to other countries, their friends' government contracts, back to their own nonprofits or NGOs, amongst a bunch of other just slush funds, right? Just the money just moves around. So there's consequences to that. So now you and I aren't getting necessarily if you want to call it a stimulus check, or we're not getting certain things that we should be receiving because it's you're in my money. You're in my money. And then all of a sudden you think you're going to have a problem with inflation? I think so, which means all of the things that you're buying, which you're already seeing, are going up. Gas is up $1 a gallon in 2 months. So see what I mean? Politics affects your bank account, which means you're going to have probably on average $2,400 less just right now a year to spend. That's a lot of money. And that's just one product. Go to the grocery store. Go to the grocery store. See how much it is for a steak. Yeah. Even chicken. See what I mean? All of these things matter. We have to pay attention because it's we the people for a reason. And like I said, we took our eye off the ball. We just figured they'll do what we vote for them. Well, they'll do what we need to do. No. Nuh-uh. And now you're looking at major consequences that are affecting people's lives. So it doesn't matter. And let's just say, for example, now you have, and being in your situation, right? In your business. So now you have all this layers of stress added to people's lives. So, just the school closing, how many people are now more depressed? How many people have lost their jobs where they need some therapy? How many people are, on the brink of killing themselves, or even some of these students? So now your whole world of what you do to help people, I mean, yes, you would like more business, but because people are wanting to help themselves, not because there's a problem that's making more clients for you, right? Yeah. You always want clients that are coming to the realization, I've got some issues and it's time for me to address them. Not this happened, it had nothing to do with me. Now I have problems and now I have to go get help or therapy. That's not how you want things to happen.
Right.
And that's what's happening. So that's what I'm saying. It's affecting everybody. And it's not finished yet. It's not finished yet. Mm-hmm. So
yeah,
more information, the better that people have, but we got to start paying attention. Got to start getting involved.
And that's what I talk about with regards to, I love how you said that it's not political. Everything's been so politicized. And this is where discernment comes in, that it's really about, seeing what is really going on, being able to see the different layers, because there are so many layers, like you were saying with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yes. She's an amazing person. I've listened to 2 of her interviews. So like, if you think she's crazy, please just listen to a few of her interviews. There's 2 people in DC. I don't mean to interrupt you. 2 people that are elected in DC that are actually looking out for you. She's one of them. That's 533 people could care less about you and are making decisions to make your life worse.
Yeah. And I love how I've heard how she is on the floor and they're getting ready to vote for something and there's hardly anybody there. And I forget what it was she does. She does something to make sure that everybody has to come, puts a pause on it.
Yeah. She's doing her job. She's doing her job.
Yes. Yes. And it's like, it's amazing. And that's what I mean with regards to seeing that's not what gets portrayed in the media.
It's done on purpose, but that's done on purpose because they don't want her there. She's a disruptor.
Yeah.
They don't want people to find out. They don't want people to listen to that 3-minute segment that I play on the show of where she tells you what's really going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then because you'll go, oh yeah, that's what I always thought. But now she's telling us. They don't want you to know. They want to keep you in your little hole where you don't know what's going on and let them take care of all the big decisions to spend all the money, spend all your money away from you.
Yeah.
And make many other more horrible decisions so that they can still keep control of us. Remember, It's we the people. I always say it's not we the sheeple.
Yeah.
We need to man up and woman up here, guys.
Yeah.
It's consent of the governed for a reason. We forgot about that. We forgot about who's in charge.
Yeah. It's time to get back to that. And one of the horrible things that I heard with the HR1.
Oh yeah. What do you want to know? What do you want to say?
That one little, well, there was probably a lot more, but the one part that I heard about was, that the elected or people who are running, they could take the money that you contribute to their campaign and use it for their own personal purposes.
Oh, it's even worse than that. Okay. It's worse than that. It's a 6-to-1 contribution of your tax dollars. So if I'm running for office and I get a dollar donation, your and my tax dollars automatically give me $6. So it's a 6-to-1. So you're financing campaigns for people. And then I can take a salary from my own campaign at whatever amount. So then my salary can be $6. So now I just take all the money and put it in my pocket.
Yeah.
So it's that bad and worse. And there's worse in it, but that's the financial component that most people are starting to look at and go, wait a minute, what? So when I said, whenever they pass a bill, okay. So no, remember I said this earlier, whenever they pass a bill, not only is the name opposite of what's inside, all of these bills are just one big money laundering scheme. It's a Ponzi scheme. It's a funneling system.
Mm-hmm.
It's to do paybacks. It's to get money infused into organizations or NGOs or different contractors in order to fund their agendas to push whatever they want, because you got to see where the money goes. So then this way, they're just taking your tax dollars and giving it back to themselves.
Right.
Times 6.
Yeah.
6 times. That's the 6x return. That's amazing. Like where do I sign up for that? I kind of want to run for office. Pass the bill, let me run. But then again, we couldn't run because what's the point of running if you're going to just pick and choose who you want to win? Because obviously that's how we roll now.
Right.
That's a whole nother show.
Yeah, that is a whole other show.
I don't want you to get flagged like I do. So I will watch my words, especially on this platform.
And it is also time to roll into a few messages. Time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it, Michelle?
Sure does.
Yes. So we will be right back after these couple of messages.
You are listening to Shift Happens with Karin Weiri. Do you have a question or comment about today's program? If so, we'd love to hear from you. Call in to the live show at 1-866-472-5792. That's 1-866-472-5792. Or send an email to karinw@insightscounselingcenter.com. Remember that Karin is spelled Karin. Now, back to Shift Happens.
And welcome back. Thank you for tuning into Shift Happens. I am your host, Karin Weiri. When I'm not on here, I am a licensed marriage and family therapist and breakthrough life coach. And today I have our amazing guest, Michele Swinick of the Everything Home Show podcast. Yeah. And speaking of which, I know that you have a show coming up right after this one here.
In 15 minutes. Yeah, 15 minutes, I'm going live. So if there's can I plug it real quick? Is that okay?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So if anybody wants to tune in to our live show, it's the All-Star Partners. Okay. Karin is an All-Star Partner, but she was our first week because we were doing personal improvement and empowerment. But today we're doing business and personal coaching. Okay. So at 12 p.m. Pacific time, which is in 15 minutes from now, if you go to everythingHomeLive.com, you can tune into, for those of you who know, Mr. Clay Clark. He is the host of the Thrive Time Show. He also hosts Fireside Chats with Lynn Wood. He has one of the most successful business coaching programs. He's one of our partners, and he's going to kick off this week of the All-Stars. And then I have Toni McClellan. She's from across the pond. You'll love her personality. And then I have Judy Hoberman. She's a brilliant woman out of Texas selling a skirt. So if anybody wants to tune in, it's going to be a big episode. Then you'll get a little taste of what goes on the Everything Home Talk Radio Show live. Now 5 days a week at 12 p.m. Pacific time.
Oh my gosh, you ramped it up to 5 days a week. Wow.
Well, this is March Madness. This is March Maskless Madness. 31 days of makeovers, motivation, and marketing. So I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going live 5 days a week to bring you the messages that matter from the people you need to know about. Because if we're going to make a change in our lives, right? If we need the tools to grow our businesses, enhance the quality of our lives, and make a difference, especially in our communities, I'm going to man up. I'm going to woman up. I'm going to whatever you want to call it up. And I'm going to deliver that information because I'm tired of myself making excuses as to where I am and where I'm not where I want to be. Mm-hmm. And I'm not alone. I always put myself out there as the guinea pig on the show. I'll be the victim. I'll be the first one to do it. I'll be the one that you could take the first shot at. I'm totally cool with that. I don't mind. I'll throw it out on the table. I cry on the show. It's not a big deal, right? So I'll do that. I'll ask those stupid kindergarten questions so that you don't have to. And then maybe even if you wanted to, now you feel a little more comfortable asking those questions. So I don't have a problem with that, right? So if I was going to do all these things and I wanted it for myself, I've said, you know what, I'm tired. I'm 48 years old. Right? I complain about not being physically fit. Well, I better do something about it. So I put in a fitness, health, and wellness week, brought in the experts, and they gave me the solutions, and I'm working on it. Baby steps, right? Baby step. But then all the other categories. So all the other categories are covered this month. Our all-star episodes are on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays is the regular format, 5 guests, 7 days a week, or 5 guests, 7-minute segments. We always go over. We're going over now, but it's because the information's too good. I'm not going to cut somebody off. If they're changing somebody's life or they're a business, I'm not going to say, well, your segment's up. Thanks for the information, but well, we got to go to the next guest. I'm going to let them finish because it's worth it. It's okay. So I go over. And if you don't want to listen, then you could turn it off. Like, then turn it off. And if you want to fast forward, you can fast forward too. And of course, all the shows are on demand. But let me give the website real quick. So that way they can have it as a resource center. And of course, your show is on there. It's on our must listen to page. Your information is on there on every show that you've done. I think you've done 5. So that's another way that they could find you, Karin. So the everythinghomeresourceplatform.com. It's everythinghomeresourceplatform.com. Everything's there. Links are there. There is to subscribe if you want to like and follow us on social media. I love the Rumble. I know it's when you guys are saying you're ready to rumble. I love the Rumble. Again, and then if everything's there. Everything you can imagine, and then some. Yeah,
and life-changing
stuff. Life-changing stuff.
I'll post that link on the Facebook page, and when I post it up on YouTube, it'll be there as well.
I'd appreciate that. And you know what? I do want to extend an invitation to any of your audience who's listening. If they have a small business or a nonprofit that they want to promote, they're welcome to become a guest on the show. They can come and do a 7-minute segment. We're always looking for more like-minded people to become part of this community. We already have 126 partners. We've done 254 live segments of this particular 5-person series, 130 different one-on-one podcast episodes that I've done. So the more the merrier. The more the merrier. Because I have 60 to 70 spots per month that I need to fill. And if I could find more awesome people to help more awesome in training people that are listening, bring it. So all that information, it's on the website. You can look at the Partners and Patriots tab. And on the homepage, on most of the pages, there's a big graphic that says book your 7-minute segment. So I always push everybody back to the website, and I set it up as a very Fisher pricey site so you can get used to it because there's so much information. So now that we're getting the word out a little bit more, we're gonna kick it up a notch, but get used to where the information is, so that way you can find it easily. And literally, when I say change your life, it's changed my life by just having conversations with the guests, and I haven't even gone to the extent where I'm implementing things on a level where I'm writing it down and doing it every day. So could you imagine if I actually took the time to do that? Like I'm working on it, baby steps, you know what I mean? But if you did that and you actually implemented it, I'm not kidding, life-changing.
Yeah. Yeah,
Anyway,
it's beautiful.
there you go.
So thank you so
I gotta
much
go.
for all
Look,
that
it's
you do.
11:51.
Yes, you do. That's what we're talking about, passion. There's passion here. So thank you, Michelle, for being on here. Thank you for letting me be on your show. Thank you for all of the work that you do for, all of us in the world. I love how you be the change you want to see, right?
Yeah, you gotta live out. You gotta practice what you preach, man. So that's what I say. And get more involved in local politics. And I'm like, that means I gotta become a precinct committee man. So I did it.
Doesn't sound like fun.
Actually, I love it. I had my first training meeting last night. It was awesome. I love what's happening, and the fire in the belly of the people who are just sick of what's going on, and they're ready to help and do things. So thank you for being a great partner and a supportive partner for us on the Everything Home Talk Radio Show podcast and patriotic purpose-driven resource platform, Karin, and especially for being an incredible all-star. And you were on episode 173 is her all-star episode. So make sure everybody listens to episode 173. Karin brings it home for the all-star episodes. And then March is just crazy. So yeah, anyone March is great, but definitely 173. That's where Karin's all-star debut is.
All right.
Thank you, my
awesome.
dear. Thank you, my dear.
Thank
All
you,
right. I
Michele.
got to go get ready for the show.
You go get it.
I gotta go. I don't know. You're gonna suck me into another 5 minutes. No, really. It's 11:52. I got to jam. All right. Thank you so much, my dear. Have a great remainder of the show, and I will talk to you in April when you come back on.
Yeah, Friday.
Awesome. Oh, it's April's Friday.
It
All right.
is.
Well, then, see, everybody needs to tune in. Karin will be on the show on Friday. Oh.
There you go.
All right. Thanks, my dear.
Uh-huh.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye,
Bye.
Facebook friends. Thank you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to me rant. Bye. Bye, everybody. All right. I can just click leave, right? I'm good.
Yes. Yeah, you can just get out of here.
Yeah. See ya. See ya. All right. Gotta go. Bye.
Yeah. And so this is one of the things when what Michele was talking about is, really doing more of the community, and a lot of the information of the people that she has on the show is about whether it's individual personal growth, which is what, of course, I'm talking about, or business or finance or whatever kind of thing. And that's what we do here with regards to making that change, be the change, implementing the change into your life, because it all starts from your own inner personal space, because that is how we show up in the world. And so it's like these layers, just like Shrek said or what's his name? Yeah, Shrek said, we're like onions, we're layers and layers. And it's so true on so many levels. And so, yeah, I highly recommend that you check out Michele Swinick's show, Everything Home. And I will provide the links if you're on Facebook, if you watch us on Facebook, and on YouTube when I post a video of it there. And for those of you who are listening, the audio, the website is everythinghomeresourceplatform.com. So there you go. And as you know, I always wrap up the show by encouraging you to figure out something that you can take from this show. There's a lot of stuff that we talked about. And I think today my takeaway really was about discernment and taking a look at a lot of different kinds of sources so that you can discern for yourself what resonates with you, what feels right, and do a little bit more digging. And that is how we really move forward, so that you can get into your special talents that are unique, and because the whole world needs whatever it is that you have to provide for the world. And that way you can go out and you can shine your beautiful inner light.
And we're clear. Great show, Karin.